Hello friends, my name is Chrissy. I am from the Yoga Still. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm going through some of my favorite decks that I use for readings for myself and also for single card readings at the end of my narrative alchemy sessions that I offer for you. So today we're looking at the Starseed Oracle. This is from Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. This is the same creator and illustrator as the Work Your Light Oracle deck, which I reviewed recently as well. This deck is a little bluer than pink. This deck is a little more woo-woo than Work Your Light, but it's beautiful, and I think it definitely has its own strengths and improvements from the previous deck. First of all, the box is just beautiful. There are examples in the guidebook of how to use the box itself as a helper for creating spreads, which I think is really, really nice. The other thing I love about this guidebook, and I have used this multiple times with multiple decks, is this attunement for the cards. I've actually created something of my own that mimics this, that I use with each new deck I receive, or when I'm starting to work with a deck in a deeper way. I just noticed it's really interesting. There is a glue spot on the cover of this guidebook, and there is a very similar glue spot on the cover of my Work Your Light Oracle deck. I'm very curious. Does anybody else have either of these two decks, and do you have a glue spot, or is it just some weird fluke that I've managed to get both? I kind of hope nobody has a glue spot and it's only about me, but I got off track. So I was talking about the attunement for the cards. As a Reiki practitioner, attunements are very sacred to me. An attunement is where we invite our intuition to step up, where we receive additional support to just be able to step more fully into the understanding and the process of the tools that we're dealing with, whether that's energy or crystals or cards. And I never would have thought to use an attunement with things until I started using this deck. I remember so clearly, I bought this deck on the way to teach yoga one night, a couple of years ago probably now, and I remember sitting in my car outside the studio and offering this attunement for this deck, and I love it. I've used it with multiple decks since then. The other thing I really like about this guidebook that's different from Work Your Light is the cards are in alphabetical order. They're much easier to, I use this guidebook more often because it's easy to use. She also offers a variety of spreads. Again, like I said, some of them utilizing the box itself. I really like this deck. So let's do a tour of the cards. So the back is a very prismatic scene. I love this so much. They shuffle really well. They do have a little bit of a bend to them. They do bend pretty easy. They are a little warped. I don't care. I use them a lot. It doesn't matter. Hill of beans to me. You can see how I put them down and they wobble a little bit. So to start the tour, we have the Golden Children. Lifting the veil. This reminds me very much of a photograph of myself that I have altered. So this is a very special card for me. Messenger. How the message is coming here through the throat chakra. Activated Earth. I'm sorry. It's a beautiful card. Earth School. See, a little more spiritual, I think, than the Work Your Light deck. So this Trust the Timing shows the tide coming in at different places and where we are in different places in that incoming or outgoing tide. Star bathing. You're not alone. Deep healing. The 7 Star Sisters. This is an image that I see a lot in the narrative alchemy sessions that I do. The big field of stars and different places that become brighter and bigger, that are speaking in that process. You're not for everyone. So this card has the same, has a very similar feel to me as the, in the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann Donnelly, I think, Chris Ann. There's a card that says something along the lines of, you know, embrace the polarity. It's okay to polarize. And this is a very important reminder to me as I go into this work. I'm not for everyone, but that doesn't mean that the work that I do isn't good and isn't important. It's just not for everybody. Fall into my arms. So in this card, we have the cave and the lagoon and all of these souls around the water and coming in to remind us how we're supported. That's a beautiful card. You've got the Love, Portal, Big Picture Thinking, Cracked Open. What a vulnerable card. Surrender to the Sweetness. I think of this being the sister card to the Play card in the Work Your Inner Light deck. All paths lead home. So this is very similar to, there's a card in the Work Your Light deck. It actually came up in the reading that I did for that deck, I'm pretty sure, where it has this a set of stones leading to the center. But this one is actually a labyrinth. Labyrinths are very special and sacred to me. And because of that, I hold this card really close. The Seas of Mintaka. I remember. We remember by going in, by going deep. Star Ancestors. Perspective. Ooh, that one feels heavy. Called. It's time to step up. A sense of homesickness. Lost lands. Connecting to the wisdom of what has been. Inner Earth. The Cosmic Heart. Karmic relationships. This showing the struggle between either to people or where you are and where you want to be, but learning how to navigate this distance. Forge, don't follow. The great severing. The void. Embrace winter. Whale and orca elders. Jump in. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful card. So the cosmos, the eye, and then the person diving into the center. I have a picture I took several years ago of my friend Miranda, and it's the opposite. She is in the water, and we're throwing like a round floaty over her, and this is what this card always reminds me of. Child of the Cosmos. Star Keeper. Star Family. So at first look, it looks like peacock feathers, but as you look closer, these are little souls coming out from the nucleus of energy. Earth pulsing. Loosen your grip. Double mission. There are multiple cards in this deck that have this message, and there's one in particular in the Work Your Light deck. This reminder that we are here both to elevate ourselves, to elevate our own mission, and by doing that, we also elevate humanity. It's just a reminder of our oneness with all that has existed and all that will exist. And any positive effort is moving toward positivity and healing for all. The blue flame. Baby steps. I love in some of these cards, we've got the holographic, the flat, the static holographic image. Earthed. Wow, I don't know that I've seen this card before. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. There's a lot of Mary Magdalene energy in this card. Water your garden. Your life is a canvas. This rose quartz, and then the roses themselves down here. Stunning card. Wait. In the previous deck, in Work Your Light, there's a yes and a no and a play and a pause. And I put the wait card in that very clear direction in this deck. Breath of the Cosmos. A new earth. Empathic Starseed. And weight of the world. So I'm going to shuffle these cards and offer us a 3-card reading. As I shuffle, I think of us as individuals. I think of us as a collective. I trust that whenever you receive this reading is the time you're meant to receive it, the time that you need it. And I trust that within this reading, there's room for reflection for each of us, and maybe, just maybe, an epiphany for one of us. All right, so we have, when I do a 3-card reading, the first card represents who we are, what we're bringing to our energy right now. The second card is an invitation, and the third card is guidance on how we lean further in or apply these two cards to our lives. So who we are, the whale and the orca elders, sharing your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. To me, this feels like a very, very strong, both third eye and throat chakra card. This reminder that what we have to share is important and it's not as shallow as we fear that it is, and allowing ourselves both to be really curious about who we are and why we are, and then we're using our voice to bring that forward, to let people in, to advocate, but trusting our inner voice, and we're speaking that voice. The invitation is to remember, as I said before, that by elevating ourselves, by being more true to who we are, we're encouraging, we're allowing other people on the planet to also be closer to its own internal vibration. The work we do for ourselves impacts everything. And then our guidance for leaning into our voice, sharing our voice, and remembering that our purpose is twofold, is the surrender to the sweetness. To, in this time, I'm recording this in early March of 2021, in this time when we have experienced so much restriction, as the world is starting to, hopefully, fingers crossed, open back up. We're able to walk more places, to just go outside of our homes, even a little bit, to allow the joy to be present in our lives, to be safe, but to also allow the joy. So this is our card reading for today. Again, I trust that you will receive it whenever it is best for you. Thank you so, so much for sharing your time with me today. Again, my name is Chrissy. I operate under the name The Yoga Still. I am offering currently narrative alchemy sessions. They are, so think Reiki with visions, and I tell you a story. I'm offering those. I have moon circles that happen every 2 weeks. And I also have an online studio where we're currently studying the chakras. That we do this through weekly meetings, yoga, breathwork, meditation, Jinshin Jitsu, tapping, just a lot of different resources to connect us to ourselves and to the world at large. If you have any questions, if you have this deck and want to talk about it, please let me know below. And again, I'm really curious if you have a glue spot as well. Hope you have a lovely day. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you soon.